We tried to warn you. We tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen to us, though. We tried to warn you that this was a bad idea. Now y'all getting exactly what you voted for. Let's get straight to it.
That's the show, did it?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So we are taking this conversation all the way to New York City, the concrete jungle, the Big Apple, the financial economic center of the world. New York City, who just a few months ago decided to elect a communist for mayor. Now, pretty much everybody tried to warn New York that this Mamdani cat was a bad idea, okay? I mean, we even had Democrats, prominent Democrats like Eric Adams and old school Democrats like Andrew Cuomo. Is it Andrew Cuomo? You're right, because Chris is the news guy, right? Prominent Democrats came out and said, I don't know if this Mamdani cat, I'm not sure. This is a good idea. Yeah, it's kind of a communist, promising all this free stuff that ain't exactly free. Not sure that we should go with this route. But the people of New York spoke and they said that they wanted all the free stuff that isn't really free. They wanted the Sharia law, which they don't actually really want. In fact, yes, we do have on record liberal women who say they want to be under Sharia law.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
The awfuls, man. The awful. They're called that for a reason. And boy, they're living up to their name with that kind of talk. Anyway, the awfuls, the awfuls in New York City were able to convince the entire city to flip to a communist, an Islamic communist. And now they are paying the price. Actually, literally, they're paying the price. They're paying the price both ways, not only in interruption in policy, things that you physically see that are gonna, I would imagine, cause people to leave. Like, for example, the extra loud call to prayer.
Time to wake up, whether you want to or not. And here's your alarm clock at the crack of dawn. No, this is not Cairo, Mecca, or Medina. It's New York City. And if you've been in the Big Apple lately, you may have noticed the Muslim call to prayer ringing out, especially during Ramadan. Some New Yorkers are starting to speak up about it. So is this an expression of religious freedom and free speech, or an unwelcome disturbance for neighborhoods? To help us understand what's really going on, we turn to Danny Bermawi. Danny grew up Muslim, but now follows Christ. And so back in 2023, Mayor Adams made headlines when he allowed Muslims to broadcast a call to prayer, the azan, from mosques, loudspeakers in New York City. And Muslim Mayor Zohran Mamdani has lifted some of those restrictions on frequency, time of day. At least 100 mosques are believed to be doing this now across the city, especially now that it's Ramadan. So many New Yorkers are taking to social media to voice their concerns about it. Are they Islamophobes, or are they justified raising concerns?
Yeah, thank you, Gary, for having me. If the call to prayer was a spiritual thing, then I wouldn't be here with you talking about it, because I am an absolutist when it comes to freedom of speech, freedom of religion. This is exactly what I'm doing. I want to defend people's right to worship and to express their faith, because in the Islamic world, we are not allowed to do that. Unless you're a Muslim, you're not allowed to publicly practice your faith. But this has nothing to do with the spirituality. It is a projection of dominance. It is occupying the public square. That's it. The call to prayer in the Islamic world is debatable today. Many people are arguing that there is no need for the call to prayer to be broadcasted and bothering everyone, because we have alarms. If you want to pray and it's 1:30, then okay, it's al-Dhuhr prayer. I'm going to pray now. So why do we need to, especially if you go to a country like Egypt, for example, you have 1,000 mosques at the same time broadcasting the call to prayer, and it is it's annoying to everyone, even to Muslims themselves. So bringing this to New York, to the biggest city in the United States, to the biggest city in the world, it has nothing to do with freedom of religion. It is projecting dominance. It's saying that we are here and we are advancing and we are taking over.
Now let's be real for a second. If we had a Christian mayor who said, you know what, I'm going to call everybody to prayer loud over the speaker so the entire city or neighborhood can hear that it's now time to pray and give honor to the one true and living God, they'd be throwing separation of church and state at us. They'd be talking about shoving your religion down other people's throats at us. New Yorkers, this is exactly what you asked for. Anyway, I came across this clip and I want to take a look at it with you guys. I don't have time to go through the entire thing, of course, but I came across this clip from Cash Jordan. Follow him on YouTube. He's already got 1.5 million subscribers. So really, actually go over there and then tell them to come follow me over here. Anyway, Cash Jordan on YouTube is talking about what is happening as a result of the tax everybody policies. And what I think we need to unpack real quick is, what does tax the rich mean? Okay, tax the rich means essentially spend more, tax wealthy people for it, and then the wealthy people leave, and then the bill is still there because we spent the money. And so when the wealthy people leave to alleviate that tax burden now gets passed along to everybody. And in fact, Mamdani broke that down specifically when he said that the reason he would have to raise taxes on everybody as well as raise the rainy day fund is because Hochul wouldn't necessarily tax the rich. This is an accident waiting to happen. This is probably your second one. Well, actually, I guess because nothing you can do about it now. It is what it is. You already voted them in. Nothing you can do about it now. All we can do is stand by and watch the place burn down slowly. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So without further ado, let's look at the exact results of what I'm talking about happening in New York. And again, keep in mind, this Mamdani cat's only been in office for like 60 days at the time of this recording. Keep that in mind. Let's get straight to it.
New Yorkers are furious with the new mayor, who they say is forcing them from their homes.
To the mayor.
Mayor Zoran Mamdani, you are out your mind.
To the mayor, the greatest respects. In every campaign speech, in every debate where you engage, we opened our ears to listen.
Oh yeah?
Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
What?
Just want to throw this out there real quick. Everybody in that frame, 100% of the people in that frame that are protesting Mamdani is black or so-called person of color. Everybody in that frame, except for this guy. Everybody up here, everybody back here, everybody back here is all of them, person of color. They're all not, they ain't a white person among them. I just want to point that out because these are the people that Mamdani's free everything communist policies are affecting. But also, I guarantee you these people all voted for Mamdani because, racism or something like that. That's the easiest way to get the black vote, right? That's the easiest way to get the black vote, feign racism.
Engage, we opened our ears to listen.
Oh yeah?
Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
What? To close a $5.4 billion budget gap, the mayor says he has two options: convince Governor Hochul to tax the wealthy, which he refuses to do, or raise the city property tax rate by 9.5%.
How about
Faced
save
with no
money?
other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control.
By
We would
lying
have to raise
about a
property taxes.
campaign
But the
promise.
city council would have to approve the measure, and council speaker Julie Menon says the proposal should not be on the table whatsoever.
Wow! But you heard the residents. They said that when the mayor campaigned, they were listening. And what exactly is it he said?
They keep sending me mail that says that you shouldn't be the mayor.
What are these guys saying?
Okay, let me see. This one says support higher taxes and more fees on New Yorkers. I don't want to pay more taxes.
Do you make $1 million or more a year?
100% disagree.
So then your taxes are not going up. The only taxes that we are
Until
proposing
now.
are on the 1% of New Yorkers who make $1 million or
Oh
more
my
a year.
What are you going to do about the price of matcha latte?
You just heard it
100% not sure.
right there, clear as day. Do you make $1 million or more? Nope. Okay, nothing to worry about.
I don't. Doesn't that sound like the normal lie that you hear from the Democrat Party? Oh, no, your taxes are going to go up just on the super ultra wealthy, just on the millionaires and the billionaires, right? Isn't that what they always say? That's what they always say. But then what ends up happening? What ends up happening is we all end up paying. The middle class ends up bearing the burden. That's what always, 100% of the time, ends up happening with these tax the rich, tax the wealthy policies. You know, unless you go to a free state like Florida, who apparently the entire state of Florida is spending less money than New York City. Go figure. Just saying, man. Be able to tell a lie when it's there. That's all. When somebody lying to you, you just be able to spot it. They don't think you can spot their lies. That's why they tell you this BS.
To move. It's my home. I'm not leaving.
This two-story
Might
single-family
have to.
home in Cambria Heights is Vivian Campbell's American dream come true.
These are not
His
millionaires.
starter home that has become
These are not
his forever
billionaires.
home.
The greatest thing to happen to me.
He bought it just after
And this is
graduating
who's
college
paying
in the
for socialism.
1990s. If you step inside, he even has a stack of CDs to prove it. The retired real estate professional, who was on a fixed income, recently poured almost $35,000 into a new front porch and a new roof. But now with Mayor Mamdani proposing a property tax increase, he feels duped.
Do you feel like he lied to you?
He was.
Do not feel. He lied.
He lied.
Feel. It's obvious.
We would have to raise property taxes.
What a
But the
lie,
city council
man.
would have to approve the measure, and council speaker Julie Menon says the proposal should not be on
because
the
it's a
table
lie.
whatsoever. Meanwhile, Hochul, for her part, is unlikely to soften her position as she faces re-election this year.
You are giving only two options. You're saying if we don't tax the rich, then I got to increase property taxes. We are not a pawn in Southeast Queens. We are not part of your negotiation tactics.
In Queens, Stefan
Wow,
Kim, Channel
dude, look at
7,
this. This sign
Eyewitness
says
News.
no transparency, overtaxed, wrong calculations, stop destroying our communities. But maybe this money's going for a good cause and people will learn to like their higher taxes.
There's no way I'm buying that all of that is going to good causes. Okay? Because again, this is all part of the lie. This is all part of the tax the rich, leftist, communist, Marxist lie. Okay? In order to have these good things, we have to pay more. We always need to put up more to help the disadvantaged. This is what they always say, right? And we saw with Doge about a year or so ago, we saw with Doge what all that money, all that bloat was going to, where all that money was going. It was going to a lot of BS. Honestly, I don't even think it's going to half the stuff that they claimed it was going to. It was going to people's pockets, is what it was. Those were the covers. Those were the leering centers, if you will. Right? You know what I mean? These transgender Sesame Street shows in Mozambique. Yeah, that might have been Mozambique, a place like Mozambique. They might have had something like that. But whatever. That was going in pockets. All right? So let's be real for a second. Never have these policies ever gone to the causes they claim that they're going to. Maybe a percentage of it so they can, it's like FDA stuff. It's like it has just enough of this to classify as chocolate, as just enough of that to classify as natural. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of those kinds of things. The business does just enough of whatever to classify as, and therefore get millions of dollars. Not to the taxpayer, not to us. Anyway, let's see what these good causes are. I'm sure he's got something about that.
Equity, $4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, $835,000, Commission on
Gender equity,
Wow.
$260,000 for Department of Education Chief Diversity Officer, $301,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers.
Wow, nice.
There's a title for you. And $118,000 for an FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. Is that necessary stuff? You can't cut that back?
And a list of things to do when it comes to public safety? Absolutely not. Public safety's got to be in the top of your list. So we can't pay for everything. Everything can't be for free. But what you need is cops out in the street. Tell me how all these programs are going to help when you're getting robbed in the middle of the street.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Yeah,
Looting, plundering.
I don't know what happened. His audio went out. But yeah, anyway, he's right. In addition to having all the looting and plundering and all that other stuff going on, nobody's around to stop any of that. I'm trying to stop cussing. I said at the beginning of the year, I'm trying to stop. I got to stop cussing, right? I'm trying to, turn my life back around, rededicate my life to Christ. I'm trying to stop cussing. But this is a poop show, okay? Skibbity poop, the poop show, okay? In New York. And it's only getting worse. You're seeing the lies. They're unfolding right before your eyes. And the price is about to be paid. And we just getting started. It's not like y'all don't got a November election to fix it. You got this for another 4 years? Another 4 years, basically. I shudder to think what New York is going to look like come, honestly, like straight up, I shudder to think what New York is going to look like come, I guess that'd be 2029? I shudder to think what it's going to look like, man. Straight up.
The property tax thing got everybody's attention.
Sure
right?
did.
We knew the guy was going to go after the rich, okay? But then he says, "No, I've got this kind of hostage situation."
Socialism goes after everybody, man.
It's property taxes. How are people like the council members in New York City? People in New York
She's
City
the only
feeling about that
Republican.
threat?
Well, I think they made
Or
it
one of
pretty
the only.
obvious yesterday when Julie Menon stepped out of her box a little bit, and she got very firm. We got 51 council members, and I don't think we're going to stomach this too much longer. You're talking
revolt.
about us losing our entire tax base.
Yeah.
He cannot raise this 9.5%. What is he thinking? It's unrealistic, and we have a battle right now between the socialist agenda, which he campaigned on. This is no surprise.
Right, it's not a surprise.
You use the word hostage. How right you are, because that's exactly what's happening right now. You do this or this is going to happen. You're going to hold us, the middle class folks that he claimed that he was in all support of for all the people, and yet he's going to hold us hostage.
He's holding the middle class of New York City hostage based on a lie.
That's not how this game is played, Zoran. Okay, and why don't you start digging into the $20 billion of our $116 billion citywide budget, which goes to non-for-profits. Cut spending. Let's dig a little bit.
Oh.
Why don't we?
See, this is what I'm talking about, right? See, there's all this extra money being spent. And in this guy's solution, this communist solution, this liberal Marxist solution, this awful solution, because they're all on board. The awfuls are all on board with this guy, right? Probably because they all want to sleep with him. Let's be real. Let's be real. They all want to sleep with. They all want to sleep with the enemy. All the awfuls want to sleep with the enemy. That's what it is. They all whatever. You voted for a guy whose solution to all the excess funds, your tax dollars, excess funds going out the window, being pissed away by the city of New York, your money. His solution to that is to tax you, to raise taxes on you, because New York has mismanaged your money for the last couple of decades. So the solution is to tax you. New York mismanaged your money, so the solution is to tax you. We want all this free stuff. Rather than pull from the fraud and put it into the things that you promised, he decided to tax you. Because it was never really about the free stuff. It was about taxing you. Sleight of hand. It's the sleight of hand from these liberals. Just saying. Every time. Pick it apart.
Talk about
so glad you
fraud,
brought
Kevin.
that up because
the
we did
fraud.
a little
Gotta
family
pay for the
project.
fraud.
We put this into AI and we asked AI, where could New York City cut spending?
Exactly.
And it turns out there are so many
much.
areas.
Oh, man,
You know,
yeah.
you've got retired city workers who get lifetime pensions.
Oh. Right.
They could be on Medicare.
Right.
You've got New York City workers, all public workers, 100% of their insurance and their family's insurance is paid. That doesn't happen in the private sector.
No, it happens
You have
in
to
the
pay
government.
At least 10, 20, 30%. That would be a massive multi-billion-dollar shift.
Yep.
You know, you could tackle some of the overtime costs. How do you see some of this cutting taking place? It doesn't seem to be that
Cutting's
difficult.
not on the table.
Well,
They're not going to cut anything.
Into our rainy day
yeah,
fund.
right. And they're not cutting anything because they don't know how to do a budget. Democrats don't know how to govern. Democrats don't govern. It's just tax and spend. Spend more money, tax more people. Tax more people, spend more money. We need more money, spend more money. Tax it and spend it. Tax and spend. That's it. They don't know how to govern. They're not doing budget. They're not actually cutting from the budget, because if they wanted to really redistribute the wealth, then they would just redistribute the fraud. If they were trying to really redistribute the wealth, they would just redistribute the fraud. It's not about redistributing the wealth. It's about taking from the people who earned it. You and me and these wealthy people. They put it over the shroud of the crony capitalists and the millionaires and the billionaires, but it's not. It's you. They want your money. They look at how much money comes from everybody in the city and everybody in the state, and they just get to salivate and how I get a piece of that. Then 100 of them get to salivate and how I get a piece of that. Then 1,000 of them get to salivate and how I get a piece of that. Then all of them get a piece of that. And before we know it, we're getting taxed into oblivion. That's what's happening. Listen, I'm gonna cut this right here. This video's going on a little bit too long. I'll post the rest of it in the description. But this is a disaster waiting to happen in New York, man. And it ain't just New York. New York is just a microcosm of the direction that the Democrat Party is heading in, right? This one is just mask off communism. Everything else has just been covert communism, okay? It's the same kind of stuff. Tax and spend, tax the rich, tax the millionaires and the billionaires, while literally making themselves into millionaires and billionaires. We don't get that. We want to say it's the actual business people. We want to blame the people who run the oil companies. We want to blame the people who run the corporations. We want to blame the people who own the mom and pop shops and stuff like that. We want to blame those people. I'm not saying that they are without fault. I'm saying, meanwhile, while we're blaming them and saying let's tax all of them, where are those tax dollars going? Are they going into your neighborhoods? No. Are they going to your services? No. Are they going to relieve your property taxes? No. Are they going to relieve your utilities? No. Where is it going? Into making these public servants, these elected officials, millionaires and billionaires themselves. All of them are. And some of them get there in record time, like Ilhan Omar. We'll talk about her. I did a video about her, I think. But we'll talk about her later. We'll talk about her some more. Ilscam Omar. We'll talk about her. Ilscam Smollett. We'll talk about her. Don't worry about it. Some of them doing it in record time. You finding all kinds of people who came in with a net worth of like $17,000, and 4 years later got a net worth of $20 million. You know how long it takes to get to $1 million? No, you don't. But they do. And let me tell you something. It don't take that long where you can get a little kickback here, a little kickback there. Don't take that long to get a little tax relief money here, some assessment fees here, some random this and that there, collect that. It don't take long to accumulate $1 million then. It don't take long to accumulate $1 million when you're doing some insider trading either. I ain't accusing nobody. I'm just telling you what's being alleged out here. What's out here in these streets. What people are talking about. What everybody else talking about. I ain't saying it. I ain't accusing nobody of nothing. But it leaves plenty of room for speculation. Leaves plenty of room for us conspiracy theorists, who right now, the conspiracy theorists are up a couple 20,000 points right about now. Okay, right about now, every conspiracy theory just about that's out there, especially after the release of the Epstein files, almost all of them seem to be exactly right, especially the right-wing ones. Especially the right-wing ones. Just saying. This is a wild prediction, but if the Democrat Party keeps going in this way, it's not just New York that's going to be like this. The whole Northeast corridor, that Atlantic was mid-Atlantic through the Northeast, Virginia, all the way up the coast. Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Delaware, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maine. All them states, they're going to be trashed. They're going to be trashed just like California. It's going to be cold California. Cold California. California, but the weather gets trashed late in the year. Right? All these places are going the same direction because of nonsense rule like this, and they keep doing it. They keep playing the same game, running the same play, saying the same stuff, dropping the same headlines over and over again because they think you're dumb. They think you're dumb. Or they think you're too weak and beaten down to go fight yourself and find out the truth for yourself. So you just listen and do whatever your auntie says. They done weaponize the feminists. You'll do whatever your mama says. They done weaponize the feminists. You do whatever your sister says. Because they done weaponize the feminists. Then you do whatever your wife or your girlfriend or the other lady who you trying to ha-ha with. Because they done weaponize the feminists. And if you don't do that, some of them have even said stupid things like, if you didn't vote for this person, then I wouldn't sleep with you. That kind of stuff. They done weaponize the feminists. I ain't saying nothing against people who think that, whatever it is. All I'm saying is we just need to know our opponent and know what we're up against. Okay? New York, you got a long 3 or so years left because you didn't listen to nobody. And now here we are. Good luck. You're gonna need it. At least that's what I think. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend to tell a friend. More importantly, remember, stay skeptical, stay informed, and always question the narrative. Until we meet again.
ctv-local.